Hey, what's up guys, Shiny here, come back with a brand new video for you guys. Today we're going to be breaking down everything that's currently ongoing inside of the CSGO investing market. First up, starting with a build off of my past video. Seems like a decent amount of people were not impressed with that video, but it turns out it was 100% correct, as pretty much always. Basically what's been going on is Valve has started to roll out a decent sized amount of bans, and obviously this impacts CSGO investing because of two reasons we're going to talk about after a quick word from today's sponsor. The sponsor for today's video is SkinsMonkey. Now SkinsMonkey is the quickest, easiest, and most importantly, safest way to go ahead and trade your CSGO skins. Now, SkinsMonkey is super easy to use. You just have to take your item, take the item you want, and just go ahead, apply code MasterShiny to get your free $5 if it's your first trade, and just click trade. And if you've got no money to spend right now, they've got two ways for you to get some. First is just heading over and topping up. Make sure to use code MasterShiny for a free 5% there, and they've also got the freebies section where you can go ahead and enter free raffles that happen every single day. And as always, thank you so much SkinsMonkey. Make sure you're using the top link in the description to claim your free $5 today. Now, the first reason this impacts CSGO investing is obviously because skins are being taken off the market. This includes a lot of other things, but the bigger reason is it seems like they're specifically targeting people who are trying to get around some of the Steam rules, and those happen to be a decent amount of case farmers, or at least that's what it appears to be at this current moment. That's important because those are some of the people that are keeping case prices down, and if you didn't know, these people are kind of crucial to not devolving into another problem that we saw previously where the cheapest case on the market was $1. It's kind of crucial that these people are actually farming cases if you think about it. However, to go along with that, cases are currently in a much better position if we want to talk about accessibility than they were just 8 months ago. We're seeing a ton of cases that are currently over 100,000 listed on the market, representing the fact that a lot of people potentially are trying to get out of cases or just investments in general, and that seems to be the general trend going on here. We're seeing a ton of cases, including some of the more popular cases like the clutch cases, over 200,000 listed on the market, and it seems like we're starting to finally see a lot of people coming back. These prices are coming down at least a little bit and starting to list them on the market. Now, the good news about this is it seems like the case market has finally kind of figured out what it's doing, because we're starting to see a decrease in price, or at least we've seen a decrease in price, and now they're just kind of stagnant for some of the newer cases, but the older cases, talking about something like the Spectrum 2, has still remained at a relatively decent price point, and that's exactly what we want to see. We want to make sure that these older cases that have a little bit more of a superiority, I want to say, under their belt, just because they've got some better skins, some better potentially knives, and they're also just obviously much older and much more desirable, have a good price point to go along with them, because we want people to continually be opening them, and this is exactly what I personally want to see when we talk about the case market. We've got some cheaper options still, which I think are going to be very good long term, but we've also got some of the older options which are showing to be quite stable, and that's exactly what we want to see. And one more thing about cases, it's very interesting to me at least that it seems like the case ROI has really stabilized out over the past couple months at like a maximum of 60 to 70%. You can see the ROIs here. We're looking at a decent amount in that 60 to 70% range, which to me is just super interesting, because obviously we've seen skin prices go up, we've seen them go down, we've seen them range all over, but the truth is it seems like this could be potentially what we consistently see moving forward. After that though, I really want to dive into some capsule analysis, or just give you my personal thoughts about what's going on. Obviously, Antwerp and Stockholm are consistently in a very interesting position. Everyone knows that since Paris has come out, they have suffered massively, but it's very interesting what's going to happen with Antwerp. See, Paris, in my opinion, took a bigger shot at Antwerp than it did Stockholm. Stockholm still got some benefits to it. It's still much easier to get a hollow there, and it's a little bit different, and they've got the foils. But the thing is, Antwerp and Paris have a lot of overlapping demand, and therefore Paris is probably going to take a lot of Antwerp's demand. I think that's quite straightforward, but the truth is it's going to be very interesting to see what Antwerp does, because Antwerp seemed like it had settled out a couple times now, and it has consistently gone on down. Now, if you want my personal opinion, once again, I'm still not going to be selling any Antwerp. I don't really think it's the smart move to do at this point. These things could go all the way back down to 25 cents, and I can't say I would regret not selling at this point. I just don't really see a huge reason to sell. There's other things I could sell. That's just my thoughts on it. Right now, it's quite obvious that everyone's eyes are specifically on Paris, and since everything has gone down inside of the general market over the past couple couple of weeks, people may not have as much money as they wanted to work with, especially if they're not as prepared as some of us who already had sold off a decent amount of things in preparation for this. So it seems like a lot of that demand has really just left Stockholm and Antwerp. And after going back and reviewing this footage, I realized I did not even come close to explaining it properly, so let me do it again. Basically what's happened is Stockholm and Antwerp are stuck in a predicament. See, if you have a limited amount of money, which almost all of my viewers do, you're going to be opting most likely for Paris in this situation. It shows a lot of potential, it's got some very nice looking stickers, and it's going to be the most important, the cheapest option for you to get into. It's cheaper than Rio, cheaper than Antwerp, cheaper than Stockholm. This is important because if you only got 10, 20, 30 bucks, you're going to want to get as many capsules as you can. But the problem is Stockholm and Antwerp are mainly held not by those people, but rather by people who buy up a ton of capsules. This is a problem because these people are not going to be reinvesting their money into buying more Stockholm and Antwerp. Therefore, Stockholm and Antwerp are stuck in a little bit of a position where the demand for them has just completely diminished overnight with the Paris stickers looking so good. This is the problem that I was trying to explain and didn't do a greatest job at it. So then that leaves us with the predicament of what's going to happen in the future with these capsules. Well, a lot of people are really looking at the 75% off sale, and it's going to be a key indicator in understanding what's going to happen with these capsules. The thing is, like we mentioned, Stockholm and Antwerp right now are not in the greatest position as of demand wise. Obviously they've still got demand and they've still got a decent amount of it, but nothing close compared to what we saw just a couple weeks ago when we didn't know if Paris was going to be borderless. Therefore, a lot of people are looking at that 75% off sale to help determine if more people are going to sell Stockholm and Antwerp or if this is kind of the bottom line that we've reached. And I mentioned it before, in my opinion, I don't think it's going to do you any benefit to sell off Stockholm and Antwerp and reinvest that money into Paris, at least at this point, because Stockholm and Antwerp still do have a promising future. It's just not the main interest of the overall market right now. And in my opinion, there's two kind of investments when it comes for CSGO investing. You can either have a good investment or you can have a lucky investment. Lucky investment being when you have an item that shoots up like 30-40% out of nowhere. It's just where the market hype is at for that current moment. Now you can have good investments that do get lucky, and obviously that happens a lot, especially when you have some good investments and people start to catch on. You can see the price trend move very quickly for these. The problem is I think a lot of people are fixating in on Paris right now and trying to hit that lucky investment because obviously these capsules are going to have a significant amount of demand for the next 8 to 10 months because there's going to be no major. Basically, I think a lot of people are trying to get lucky with Paris and therefore they're fixating on it and they're kind of pushing Stockholm and Antwerp to the side. Other than that, two quick things before we go. The first of which is people have once again rediscovered that if you redeem a pass with tokens, you get the tokens. I don't really get this whole portion here, but basically some people have been interested that this actually works, and although it may be a glitch, may not be, it's something that has consistently happened in past majors, although the profitability of it at this point is pretty much zero. Relating back to my past video, if you guys ever want to leave constructive comments, I read all of them. I like to improve my videos, but don't just leave a comment that is clickbait. It doesn't really help me. It doesn't say what you specifically thought was clickbait, but that's pretty much all I got for today. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I do hope you have a great rest of your day.